led the Red Sox to the World Championship in 1918. But since selling the Babe to the Yankees, the Red Sox have never won it again. Oh, they've come close, only to leave behind a string of images associated with heartache. Slaughter's improbable mad dash in 46. In 67, Yaz and the Impossible Dream gave way to Bob Gibson and cold reality. Carlton Fisk's moment belongs to history, but the next night, the series belonged to the Reds. Bucky Dent, the name itself, an obscenity in New England. And Bill Buckner. It really did happen that way, didn't it? 77 star-crossed years. Can this one be different? It's all different for Cleveland, 41 years removed from their last pennant. Things weren't going all that badly until they sent young slugger Rocky Colavito away in 1960. Did this anger the baseball gods? How else to explain the next 3.5 decades during which they finished an average of 23 games out of first? So something's got to give here, and in Game 1, Tony Pena left his old Boston mates muttering curses of their own.
Tony Pena on 3-0 sends everybody home.
Game 1 saw the Indians take a small step towards putting their curse behind. And the Red Sox, if for only one more game, were foiled again. So we return to Jacobs Field for Game 2. Rain not an issue tonight as game time approaches. Temperature at 62 degrees. Eric Hansen, 15-game winner for the Red Sox. He beat the Indians 3 times this year, opposed by the veteran Orel Hershiser, a 16-game winner for Cleveland. Hi again, everybody. Bob Costas with Mr. Baseball, Bob Uecker. It was a game last night that Indians manager Mike Hargrove called as intense as any he has ever been involved in. And even though we left the air at 2 a.m. Eastern time, there were news developments after we left the park. Let's begin with the corked bat accusation against Albert Bell.
Well, for the second time in 2 years, Albert Bell accused of corking a bat. Last night, Kevin Kennedy asking home plate umpire Tim Welke to take the bat out of the game. That was following an Albert Bell home run. Albert Bell's reaction to the incident and the call by Kennedy, here's where the cork is. That's what Albert Bell said. Here's the bat early in the morning after it was cut, the barrel portion cut, and no cork involved in that particular piece of lumber.
Dr. Bobby Brown, the former American League president who last year suspended Albert Bell for 7 games, had the bat sawed open, found nothing. He's acquitted, at least for now. Rick Aguilera, however, not available. You see that he strained a muscle between the hamstring and the groin area last night, pitching in the 11th. Is not available tonight. They hope to have him at Fenway come Game 3 on Friday. Now to Hannah Storm.
Hi, everybody. I'm Hannah Storm. Welcome to Night 2 of the Division Series. What a start to the postseason celebration last night. Capped off early this morning in Cleveland. Bottom of the 13th, former Red Sox catcher Tony Pena at the plate, and Bob Costas with the call.
Oh, man, Tony Pena on 3-0 sends everybody home.
The Indians win, but Albert Bell had his bat confiscated after an 11th inning home run. The Red Sox accusing the home run champ of a corked bat. As you can see, nothing but wood there, setting a controversial stage for Game 2. At Yankee Stadium, Ken Griffey Jr.'s 2 home runs, not enough last night for the Mariners. Tonight they look to even the series and get their first ever postseason win. In the National League, Chipper Jones providing the drama. The Rookie of the Year candidate broke a tie in the top of the 9th inning with his 2nd home run of the game, putting the Braves up with a 1-0 lead over Colorado. And in Los Angeles, Reds lefty John Smiley tries to give Cincinnati a commanding 2-0 lead at Dodger Stadium. Night 2 promises more playoff magic as the division series continue after this from your local station.
I don't know what we can possibly do for an encore, but it's Game 2 after we went deep into the night till about 2 Eastern time before Tony Pena launched a 3-0 pitch into the left field bleachers to win it 5-4 in the unlucky 13th from the Red Sox perspective. And here is tonight's Budweiser Boston Red Sox starting lineup. Dwayne Hosey is in center field. He played right last night. John Valentin at short. Mo Vaughn and Jose Canseco, the 3 and 4 hitters, they were a combined 0 for 12 and left a total of 10 men on base in the Game 1 loss. Greenwell is in left. He had 3 hits last night. Nearing had a homer last night. Might have won the game, but didn't. Willie McGee, that's the only change, in the 7th spot instead of Tinsley. Tinsley played center last night. Hosey moves to center. McGee in right. McFarland and Alicea, who went 4 for 5 with a home run and a double in that 9th spot last night. Oral Hershiser to Hosey, who swings on the first pitch, slashes it to left, and Albert Bell drops the ball. On his way to second is the very speedy Hosey. Close play in there. Albert Bell will doubtless win the MVP with his late season surge. He has never been a Gold Glove candidate.
Al, a line drive. That's the best ball that Hosey has hit in the series thus far. An easy play for Albert Bell. May have cork in his glove.
They're going to X-ray the glove.
Yeah, normally balls that he gets to, Bob, I mean, he normally catches, and this was a very easy play for him. It turns out to be a 2-base error, and the Red Sox with a runner here in the opening inning. Easy play.
Valentin, too, swings on the first pitch. Vizquel, whirling throw. That's why he will win a Gold Glove. Sprinting for third, Hosey, and they got him. Well, that atones for the misplay in left. This is a brilliant play on both sides of the diamond. Vizquel, widely regarded as the best defensive shortstop in all of baseball. Valentin was called safe at first. Apparently, let's see if we can catch it here. He jumps to throw. It's a brilliant play. Sorrento may have come off the bag as he received the throw, seeing that Hosey was bolting for third. And he gets Hosey with a nice catch and tag by Thome there. The call at third base by Don Denkinger. Usually that's a call the first baseman will get. But
normally most first basemen, I was going to say, Bob, normally first baseman, and they all do it. They cheat. And in that particular case, Joe Brinkman, who's working at first, thought that Sorrento came off the bag a little too quickly, and Valentin is aboard. But a great play by Sorrento to get Hosey at third, and a super catch by Thome to apply the tag there.
Score the play 6-3-5. Now the ball bounces by Alomar. What can we do for an encore? What a first inning. Wide turn by Valentin at second, and he returns. Man. Hosey hit the first pitch to left. Bell dropped it. Valentin hit the second pitch to shortstop, and a wacky play ensued. Now this pitch from Hershiser is in the dirt. Gets by Alomar. Wild pitch. And Valentin to second.
Low breaking ball that time from Hershiser, and Alomar not able to turn his body, to turn that right shoulder a little more into the pitch. Bounced off his chest protector, the wild pitch.
Now the 1-1 to Vaughn.
That's what the Red Sox are going to see tonight from Hershiser. A lot of sinking fastball, and he's got a good one. Very good sinker, curve, and a split finger fastball on occasion.
And it's second, 1 out of the first. Call strike 2-2, and quickly we check with Hannah Storm.
Bob, last night we saw Rockies starter Lance Painter striking out with the bases loaded to end the game. Well, tonight, his first pitch of the game, and he gives up a home run to the Braves' Marquise Grissom. It's Grissom's second home run of the series. The Braves take the lead 1-0, a homer off the first pitch of the game in Colorado, Bob.
Action right off the bat in at least 2 locations, and now Hershiser strikes ball out. He went 0 for 6 last night with 3 Ks. As we told you, he led the American League with 150 strikeouts in a 144-game season.
Here it is again, a nasty curveball from Hershiser, down low and inside. Vaughn can't get it, and it's a strikeout. There it is again, low and inside, and look at Vaughn pulling his head out of there. That's the one thing in talking with Jim Rice tonight. I asked him, I said, what's wrong with Mo Vaughn? He said, Yuki's trying to jerk everything out of here and right, and he's pulling out. That's what he did right there. Going back to that opening play, Bob, what a brilliant play by Omar Vizquel. Wow.
Took that ball in the hole, and had Sorrento not come off the bag, He's got him at first, and that would have been a double play.
Yeah.
Hosey holding with the ball hit in front of him, and then once Vizquel released the throw, Hosey very fast made his break for third. Sorrento so anxious to get him that he cheated a little bit, came off the bag. Joe Brinkman called him safe at first. They got the man at the other side of the diamond.
Well, the Red Sox are going to see a lot of that tonight from Hershiser. A lot of breaking stuff with Canseco, sinking fastballs, and he's got a good one. Hershiser's saying that he is now throwing the ball as well as he ever has, and since the surgery back in 1990, he thinks he's back. Throwing in excess of 90 from time to time, and that's the Hershiser of old. 16 wins this year.
11-2 in the second half. The 0-2 to Canseco. Slow roller foul. The 16 victories for Hershiser. The most he's had since he went 23-8 in that remarkable Cy Young Award season of 1988, when he took the Dodgers all the way through to the upsets of the Mets in the LCS and the A's in the World Series.
You know, Bob, when you look at a guy like Hershiser and coming off the shoulder surgery that he had, a lot of pitchers don't survive. They'll come back and pitch, but they don't pick up the velocity that they had prior to the surgery. Hershiser is almost where he was, velocity-wise.
The 0-2 pitch. Left field Bell with a late break, but he has time. Weird inning, but they survive it. Nothing across for the Red Sox. And here is tonight's Budweiser Cleveland Indians starting lineup, identical to last night's starters. Lofton, Vizquel, Baerga, Bell, Murray, Tomey, Ramirez, Sorrento, and Alomar. At game's end, of course, that ninth slot was occupied by Tony Pena. They ran for Alomar after a bunt single in the 10th, and Tony decided the issue in the bottom of the 13th. 6'6" Eric Hansen, 30 years old, 15-5 this year, 3-0 against the Indians. Now remember, Cleveland went 144. So Hansen, one of the few who's had their number. We'll tell you more about that in a minute. But let's go back to the play on the ball Valentin hit to the hole in the top of the first.
Here it is again from another angle. You'll see Vizquel into the hole. Backhanded play. There's the old Popeye pass. And a good strong throw. Sorrento comes off the bag. He had plenty of time to stay on to get the batter Valentin and the throw to third, and plenty of time to get Hosey there. But a good call by Joe Brinkman. I mean, he did come off the bag early. And normally, as I said before, first basemen cheat, and so do second basemen when they come across the bag more often than not. Seems as though they're always off the bag when they get that throw. There's John Valentin.
Kevin Kennedy, his manager, calls him the best all-round shortstop in the league. He can't compete with Vizquel with the glove. Nobody can at this stage in the American League for sure. But Valentin, of course, with 27 home runs on the year and hit one last night. A called strike to Kenny Lofton from Hansen. 2 of Hansen's 3 victories against the Indians came here at Jacobs Field. He went 8 innings in each of the 3 wins. There's the big curveball, but it misses 1-1.
Well, the Indians are going to see a good fastball tonight. Here's another guy that throws in excess of 90, has an excellent curve and a very, very good change of pace.
And it's his ability to pull the string when he has the good change going, mixed with the curveball, that can keep teams off balance.
There's a big breaking ball that missed off the outside corner. The thing with Hansen, and the thing that's really helped him, is the fact that he throws a changeup. I mean, he has so much confidence in the changeup that he'll throw it when he's behind in the count. He'll throw it anytime. There it is right there. That was it. That was it. Check swing foul by Lofton that time. Watch the motion on Hansen. He's got such a great motion with this change of pace, and then really pulls back as it exits his hand.
Lofton slices one deep but foul to left. Tim Wakefield, as we mentioned last night, a Cy Young candidate until about late August. There was a debate for a while as to whether he or Clemens should open the playoffs. Well, Clemens reestablished himself as the ace, so there went game 1 for Wakefield. Hansen has won twice here in Cleveland, so there went game 2 for Wakefield. Full count now, and they push him off to game 3 at Fenway Park. They wanted to get Hansen against the Indians here at Jacobs Field, where he's won twice.
4 starts against Cleveland this year and winning 3 times.
A no decision in the other one. Got in on him, bounces it to Vaughn with Hansen covering. This 1995 Division Series game is brought to you by Toyota and their full line of quality cars and trucks. Toyota, I love what you do for me. Wendy's spicy chicken sandwich. Get it while it's hot. And Beechwood aged Budweiser, the king of beers. This Bud's for you. Vizquel steps in. 0 for 3 with a pair of walks and a sacrifice last night. 266 in the regular season. And strike 1 to him. The Indians committed 2 errors in the top of the first. 2-base error on Bell when he dropped Hosey's liner. And then Sorrento in his haste charged with an error for coming off the bag too quickly, allowing Valentin to be safe. But he did deliver the throw across to Thome, who made an excellent tag and catch to retire Hosey trying to advance. 1-2. Hit hard and foul.
A high fastball that time from Eric Hansen. I mean, if you're going to look for it, and he's tuning it up there around 90 now, and if you're going to look for it, you might as well look all the way and say to yourself, hey, if he's going to throw one, I'm going to try and jump on it and pull it. And that's just what Vizquel did.
Hit to short, Valentin. Didn't get him. Just a moment's hesitation, and that was enough for Vizquel to beat it out.
Allie had a little trouble getting it out of his glove. This is an easy chance for Valentin. There it is. He had a tough time getting a handle on it, and the hustling Omar Vizquel beat it, and he beat it easily. A good call by Joe Brinkman, and they have scored that.
Nothing
as a base
yet.
hit, I would imagine.
We're waiting to see as Baerga steps in. And they do score it as an infield single.
Well, had Valentin really bobbled the ball, I mean, had you really been able to see him bobble it, he just had a little trouble getting the exchange out of his glove. And you got to give credit to Vizquel on the play for really busting and hustling.
Baerga whacks one, but that's foul too. Barely time to settle in tonight before things started happening.
Well, I brown bagged it over here tonight, buddy. I'm not taking any chances. Good start to this one.
You may need a snack long about midnight. Kevin Kennedy. Mike Hargrove had harsh words for him after the bat was confiscated. Hargrove pointed a finger toward Kennedy and uttered a few things which we will not repeat here. Use your own imagination. They both acknowledge it. Here's a drive to left. Backing up is Greenwell. Mike's got it.
Hargrove was really upset, as were all of the Indians, about the incident last night. And as a matter of fact, the press conference here at the ballpark tonight, as Albert Bell comes up, and they're standing for him here at Jacobs Field. That's just what he said last night.
Yeah, I got your cork.
Yeah. But in Bobby Brown's press conference about the incident last night and the acquiring of a saw by one of the ground crew people here, his press conference tonight turned out to be a laugh.
A fastball high. Here's the official statement from the league. The bat in question was examined by representatives of the league office, the Cleveland Indians, and the Red Sox. It was found to be clean and legal. Kevin Kennedy told me before the game they still have their suspicions.
Yep.
He said, look, baseball is a fraternity. People get around. I know people on their ball club. People talk. And we are not 100% convinced that he hasn't used a cork bat this year. The Red Sox, however, were the first team to ask to have it checked. Last year, Gene Lamont of the White Sox called for the bat to be checked. And that it was found to be corked. And Dr. Bobby Brown, then the American League president, suspended Bell for 7 games.
Albert's excuse last year was, I carry wine in there.
The 2-0 pitch fouled out of play. The idea when you cork a bat is not that the cork substance itself propels the ball, but rather that it makes the bat lighter and you get additional bat speed.
Head speed on the bat, and on the impact of the ball, the compression of the cork, so to speak. I've never corked one. I don't know. They look for wood in mine. Mine were corked and looked for wood.
Whatever you were using, the opposition wanted you to continue. The pitch to Bell, hard liner, left field, base hit. On his way toward third is Vizquel. Now Bell, as they throw toward third, speeds for second, and he's in there.
Now Albert Bell again getting a pitch upstairs. Watch where this ball is. Right down the pipe and upstairs, and he rips it to left. Greenwell may have been better off with a throw to second because the speedy Omar Vizquel got to third easily, and Bell, after the throw was cut off by Valentin, in the second, beating the throw there.
Eddie Murray 1 for 6 last night. The one hit was an RBI single. Vizquel way down the line at third. Runners at second and third with 2 out. By the way, the ball Vizquel hit to Valentin, originally scored a hit, has been changed to an error. So we've seen 3 errors already in this first inning. 2 by the Indians, 1 by the Red Sox.
Well, don't you know Albert Bell is loving this night, Bob? First time up with a base hit after the incident last night.
Hanson's 1-1 to Murray. There's the change.
Boy, what a beauty. I mean, he's got a good one. He's got the riding fastball that he'll run away from a left-handed batter from time to time, as he did on Murray for the first strike. And then that devastating change and a very good overhand curve. But he's got a rider, 4-seamer, and a 2-seam fastball.
1-2 pitch.
Tell you, with Murray, you've got to be careful with hard stuff, especially from the left side. I mean, he'll sit on fastballs, and if he gets one to his like, he can hit you very deep. And we may see another change of pace here. Breaking ball, off-speed stuff with Murray up there now with 2 aboard.
He got him. The change again. And the Indians lead 2. No score after 1.
Back to the Jake in a moment at Dodger Stadium. Bottom of the first, 2 outs. Eric Karros at the plate facing lefty John Smiley, and Karros with the RBI double to left brings in Brett Butler. The Dodgers get on the board first. They take a 1-0 lead. We're in the top of the second now as they look to even that series with Cincinnati at home. Bob?
Hannah, thanks. For a scoreless first inning, there was a whole lot going on at Jacobs Field. Greenwell to start the second against Hershiser. Goes the opposite way. Bell backs up to the edge of the track to make the catch.
Well, in an opening inning that saw 3 errors, you'd think somebody may pick up a gift run. 2 charged to the Indians in the opening inning, and then the ball hit by Vizquel. Error charged to Valentin. Albert Bell on the catch of Greenwell's little lazy fly. You know, you might see Hershiser in a game like tonight with the Indians up 1-0, Bob, really kind of air it out and really try to get out of here with 2 for Cleveland, and maybe change himself just a little bit, change his style a little bit more, and I mean really go after these guys. Although if he gets out of his sinker routine, he's really out of his mode, so to speak.
Ball 1 to Nearing, the 4-0 postseason record you saw for Hershiser with the Dodgers, of course, in the 80s. Pop to the right side. Sorrento into foul ground for the second out. As always, we'll be updating you as much as possible on the games going on elsewhere. In 85 and 88, Hershiser saw postseason action for Tommy Lasorda's Dodgers. Faces Willie McGee here, and McGee, by the way, has played in more World Series games and more postseason games than any active player. He's been in 4 World Series. 82, 85, 87 with the Cardinals, 90 with the A's, 24 World Series games in his career. 36-year-old switch hitter.
Great series against the Brewers in that 82 job, Bob. Both
as a rookie
and St. Louis. Wow.
Had a 2-homer game
yep.
at County Stadium as a rookie.
You know, the thing that impressed me about McGee, the fact that not only the fact that he hit a couple of home runs, but I'm telling you, that guy could fly. I mean, he still can run well, but he flew them.
2-out single for him. He's coming back off an Achilles injury sustained last year when he was with the Giants. Red Sox signed him, had to go to Pawtucket to play himself into shape. Around July 1st, he came to the big club, and he hit .285 as an occasional starter and bench player.
You know, a lot of people had given up on McGee, and he himself didn't know if he was going to be able to come back. But when the Red Sox signed him and sent him to Pawtucket, as you said, still running pretty well. I mean, he's not what he was before, but he still can run.
McFarland at the plate was 0 for 3 last night before they hit for him. 2 out and McGee at first in the second.
And again, Hershiser with a good sinking fastball that time that McFarland almost drove off of his foot. Well, I mean, this guy tries to pitch on your fists all night long. He's on your knuckles all night long. Then that nasty curve down low and away. Not a big curveball, but it's sharp.
1-2 to McFarland. We told you that Hansen is 3-0 with a no decision against Cleveland this year for Boston. Hershiser in 3 starts against the Red Sox, 1-1 with a no decision. And you see the ERA is 5.60.
I'm talking with Herb Score, the longtime Indian broadcaster, tonight about Hershiser, and he said, "Uke, I tell you, his last few times out, he's really been devastating. I mean, he's had unbelievably good stuff. He's throwing hard, sometimes 90 plus, and again his sinking fastball. If he's getting the ground balls, that's his game.
Feels stronger than he has in a number of years, and that accounts, he says, for additional movement on his pitches. Hit toward the middle by McFarland. Consecutive singles after 2 out, put runners at first and second, and that brings up Alicea, the number 9 hitter, but 4 for 5 last night. 2 singles, a double, and a home run. A game-tying home run in the 8th inning off Julian Tavares that knotted it up at 3. Little did we know we were just in the middle of the game at that point.
I talked to him about that play at first base last night, Bob, and he said he honestly thought he had the bag, and challenged the first base umpire. That was John Hirschbeck at that time. Alicea told me, he said, "Uke, when I went up in the clubhouse and I looked at it on tape," he said, "I called John Hirschbeck and told him he made a heck of a call." He said, when he made the call initially, he said, "I thought he blew it." He said, "I thought I had the bag." That was a bunt play involving Mike Maddox and a toss to Alicea covering.
The 1-0 pitch. Down and in, 2-0. McGee at second, McFarland at first. Alicea hit .270 during the regular year. And Orel's behind him, 3-0.
Notice the difference in Hirschbeck and Welke last night. Bob, Tim Welke in last night's game really working the outside corner, and tonight, and John Hirschbeck normally is pretty liberal. He's one of those guys that gives you corner pitches. That one not bad by Hershiser, but Hirschbeck thought it was outside.
Walks him on 4 pitches to load the bases for Hosey.
Did you hear Hirschbeck? He said, "Nope, too far."
Yep.
Outside.
Hirschbeck's got the plate. Joe Brinkman at first, Rocky Rowe at second, Don Dinkins, the crew chief, at third, Dan Morrison left field line, and Welke, who had the plate last night, is in right field tonight.
This is one of the things as a hitter with a guy like Hershiser, who normally is going to work that way. That's the way he wants to work. But I mean, if Hirschbeck's going to make him come more to the corner, get more of the corner, then you as a hitter have to realize the same thing, that if he's going to throw you off the corner, take the pitch, if that's the way the home plate umpire is working in a particular game.
Hosey reached on Bell's error in the first. And Hershiser's control deserts him here, at least momentarily, in the second.
Well, he just doesn't want to give up. I mean, he doesn't want to throw anything right down the pipe. He's still trying to corner pitch. And again, he's got that big sinking fastball.
1-1.
Jimmy Rice tonight with Dwayne Hosey trying to get him to hit the ball the other way from the left side, to go to left field. Said last night in his ABs last night, trying to pull pitches and jumping at everything.
He might have been a bit over anxious. First postseason appearance for the rookie. He went 0 for 5. Two and 1, and Hershiser trying to gather himself a little bit here.
One of the most intense guys on this Indian pitching staff. I mean, he's constantly watching tapes of enemy hitters and in his own pitching style also. How his delivery, how he finishes up.
2-2.
We talked just a moment ago about Dwayne Hosey being a little too anxious, Bob. I know that's in watching him tonight during batting practice, and again in his talks with Jim Rice. Rice really trying to settle him down and just get the bat on the ball. Don't be trying to hit everything out of the ballpark. You can't do it by yourself. It's got to be everybody. And he chased a bad pitch that time. It ought to be a 3-1 count.
Foul back to the screen. Hosey is a rookie, but a 28-year-old rookie. As we mentioned last night, the Red Sox are his 6th organization. Last year, he was the American Association MVP. Hit .333 for Omaha in the Kansas City organization.
What did Kevin Kennedy tell us last night about this guy? He said he's a tough kid, a street kid. He said he's been around. A lot of people gave up on him. He said, but I like him. He said, I like that kind of a player. And not that he's a bad kid by any means. He's changed his life a whole lot, and Kennedy likes that kind of a player.
After 2 outs here in the second, the Red Sox have loaded the bases against Hershiser on a pair of singles and a walk. Alomar with the sign, and now Hershiser with another 2-2 pitch. Out of play. Hargrove and Kennedy go back a ways. Kennedy was telling me before the game that in 1989 in the Pacific Coast League, his Albuquerque team, a Dodger farm, defeated Hargrove's Colorado Springs club in the Pacific Coast League playoffs 3-2. Kennedy feels at least that there might be a little bit of a rivalry. Not so much animosity. The animosity last night was real, but perhaps temporary, but a rivalry between the two of them.
I think I got that feeling from Mike Hargrove, too.
Yeah.
I really do.
Well, there's no question Hargrove was hot last night.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
He cursed Kennedy out
he
after they grabbed Bell's bat. Kennedy still has his suspicions about Bell. The 2-2 pitch again. Rolled foul. If nothing else, by confiscating that bat and having it sawed open, they didn't x-ray it as we first thought they might. They sawed it open. If nothing else, you take one of Albert Bell's favorite bats away from him. Now, he may have the same model, but, you know, hitters get comfortable. They get the pine tar on it. They get it rosined up just the way they want it. They get it to feel comfortable, and that was taken away.
That's what Bobby Brown said tonight in the press conference held here at the ballpark. That's the thing that Bell complained about most, and I think Mike Hargrove too. The fact that they took a bat that the guy was comfortable with, that was feeling good to him, and he was hitting the ball hard. And hitters are superstitious. I mean, a lot of guys don't want you touching the bat, messing around with it at all. They use one for batting practice and one for the game.
And now Alomar out to talk with Hershiser. Polite comments were in short supply after last night. I mean, Albert Bell has no particular fondness for former American League president Dr. Bobby Brown, who's retired and been replaced by Gene Budig now. But with 2 divisional series, Budig is at Yankee Stadium with the Mariners and Yanks, and Brown comes out of retirement, league president emeritus. Thought he would just enjoy a pleasant few days in Cleveland and Boston, and is thrown into immediate controversy. Another 2-2 pitch and another foul ball. A 7-game suspension for Bell last year, handed down by Dr. Bobby Brown after they did find cork in the bat.
Well, I mean, it's not Bobby Brown's fault. He was here last night and was the man in charge. What else are you going to do? They wanted the bat examined. Got one of the ground crew people here to grab themselves an electric saw, and that's the final result right there.
Dr. Brown was kind of funny in the press conference. He said, "I'm sure Albert was looking forward to seeing me again."
Yeah.
Former Yankee infielder, played on a number of their World Championship teams. Off the outside corner, and now a full count to Hosey.
And this is a pretty good at-bat for Dwayne Hosey here. He's fought off a couple of tough pitches from Hershiser and took one right there. And again, John Hirschbeck does not appear to be giving that pitch that is just off the corner, and Hosey took it, and it's running time now for everybody.
McGee, McFarland, and Alicea will take off, counting the foul balls. This is Hershiser's 10th pitch to Hosey. Bouncing ball, second base, Baerga, who was screened a little bit by the runner going past. It wasn't such an easy play, but he throws him out. They leave the bases loaded. Still no score at the Jake. Awfully courteous of Albert Bell to call from the dugout and arrange a late dinner post-game with Dr. Bobby Brown.
I think where Bobby Brown is sitting, you wouldn't need a telephone to hear Albert Bell.
Dr. Bobby Brown, one-time roommate of Yogi Berra with the Yankees of the 40s and early 50s. Famous story about the two of them, probably apocryphal. Bobby Brown going through medical school while playing ball, reading a medical journal. Yogi leafing through a comic book, so the story goes, and as Yogi turns out the light, he turns to Brown and says, "Well, how did yours come out?" Here's Tommy.
Medical books didn't glow in the dark either. That was a big kick out of comic books late at night.
You must have had a different subscription than I did. Strike one to Tommy from Hanson.
I drew my own.
Listen to what some of the big hitters in the Indian lineup have done against Hanson this year. Tomey 1 for 11, Murray 1 for 12, Sorrento 2 for 10, Lofton 3 for 14. That'll make the seats. The only guy who has really hit Hanson, and this isn't confined to this year, for his career, Albert Bell, 9 for 29 with 4 home runs. And Bell lined a single to left off him in the first inning tonight. The 1-2 pitch.
A pretty good changeup that time from Eric Hansen. He got it upstairs, and Tomey able to get a piece of the ball. He was out on that front foot. Here it is again. There's a high change of pace. Look at Tomey out on the front foot. Out on the front foot. Still had enough of the bat back to get a piece of it and foul it off.
Sit down. Second strikeout for Hansen. Tomorrow is a travel day in the division series, so check out the most watched night on television. Must-see TV, NBC Thursday, all new episodes of Friends, The Single Guy, Seinfeld, Caroline in the City. The Single Guy probably should hook up with Caroline in the City. And the biggest drama hit on television, ER. They don't call it must-see TV for nothing. You can catch the all-new episodes tomorrow. Ramirez takes a ball down and away. Now he's looking out toward the right field line in search of Tim Welke, who worked the plate last night. No umpire there. That's in the seats. And so here's what's happened. Don Denkinger is having trouble with a knee, and he has left the game. Tim Welke moves from right field to left, and Dan Morrison is now the umpire at third. So we have one more than the regular season and one less than you usually have for a playoff game. 5 umps right now. And a roller to the right side. Alicea takes care of Ramirez, who was 0 for 6 last night and hitless in his first at-bat here.
Well, there were a couple of 0 fors last night with Vizquel. 1 for 6, Murray and Tomey. Ramirez now 0 for 7 in the series. He looked like he jammed himself that time on a change of pace. That little weak ground ball to second. That's a good player, though. Manny Ramirez.
Hit .308 with 31 homers this year. He's only 23 years old. Really just scratching the surface of his potential. He's an unschooled hitter. Sorrento. Ball one to him.
As we talked about Ramirez last night, he's one of those hitters that looks like he's been around a lot longer than he actually has in the big leagues. Look at that changeup. Is that a beauty? Boy, he's got a good motion, good delivery. That thing looks fastball. When he's into his delivery, when he's into his motion, it looks fastball till he lets it go. Big pitch for him.
Here it comes on 1-1. Beautiful night at Jacobs Field. 62 degrees at game time. Municipal Stadium was one old baseball park that had almost no charm. Not Fenway or Wrigley or Tiger Stadium or anything like that. It just had a baseball atmosphere that didn't compensate for all the other problems with it. In fact, I think it was Hargrove who said there's nothing wrong with Municipal Stadium that a case of dynamite wouldn't cure.
Yep. Yeah, they could have made that area over there a canal.
That, my friends, is the Goodyear blimp Spirit of Akron floating overhead, providing the aerial view of Jacobs Field. Goodyear blimps have been flying over major sports events for over 70 years. Gee, the Wright brothers only flew 92 years ago.
Not for very long, but they did.
Yeah.
What a charter that was.
1-2 pitch. It hit him. Sorrento hit by a pitch. And off to first with 2 out.
This is that last breaking ball by Hansen, dropping low and inside, just above the knee, getting Paul Sorrento. I'll tell you what, if that was a fastball, he may not have taken it the way he did, and may have made a little better effort to get out of the way.
Sandy Alomar Jr. 1 for 4 last night, 300 for the season. Hansen on 1-0. Grounded to Alicea. The flip to Valentin to retire the side. No score after 2 in Cleveland. Indians leading the series 1-0.
Back to the Jake in a moment. First to the action at Coors Field. Top of the third. Braves up 1-0. 1 out, and the bases loaded for the Braves. Javi Lopez taking Lance Painter to deep left. It'll stay in, but it's a sacrifice fly as he scores Mark Lemke from third to give the Braves a 2-0 lead in the third inning. Now to Yankee Stadium, scoreless in the top of the third. Vince Coleman of the Mariners at the plate, and he goes opposite field for the home run of Yankees rookie starter Andy Pettitte. The Mariners looking to even this series, and they take a 1-0 lead in the third at Yankee Stadium. Back to you, Bob.
Hannah, thanks a lot. It's not all that often that Vince Coleman homers, but to the opposite field.
Yeah, the ball jumping tonight evidently in Yankee Stadium because it got out of there relatively easy. Boy, what a leadoff guy he's been for Seattle, huh, Bob? What an acquisition. Vince Coleman.
Valentin reached on an error in the first and hits another one to Vizquel. This is a routine chance, and that's the first out in the third.
Hershiser again getting a little bit inside on Valentin that time with that sinking fastball. Boy, here's a guy the Red Sox really need to get going. And again, in talking with Jimmy Rice, you were down there during batting practice, Bob, to get this guy to try and go the other way. They're swung around towards right for him. They actually kind of bunch on Lofton in center, but he's trying to pull everything, and the Red Sox need this guy badly. I mean, forget the home runs. You don't have to hit a home run every time. I mean, drive one to the gap or whatever, because he's been up with men on.
Left 5 of them last night. 0 for 7 with 4 strikeouts thus far in the series. And a weak ground ball to Sorrento. Make it 0 for 8.
Again, the sinking fastball and a ball that, I mean, if Vaughn's going to go after it, if he's going to hit that kind of a pitch or try to hit that kind of a pitch, to try and drive it the other way or back up the middle. I mean, he's got great power the other way. See how he tried to pull that ball? He's pulling himself out of there. Watch this. Here it comes. Low sinking fastball, and he's pulling way out of there. He's trying to turn the ball around, and there's no way you can do it. Not against a guy like Hershiser. Talked with Vaughn before the game tonight, and he said, "Uke, I'm just battling. I mean, that's all I can do is just go up there and give it a whack every time."
Canseco looking for his first hit, and as a matter of fact, he's won for his last 25. Won for his last 25 in postseason play.
Look at Canseco. Look at Canseco. Breaking ball for a strike, and then the inside fastball. That ball wasn't close. That wasn't that bad of a pitch. Looking at other scores. Braves on top, 2-0 now. That was not that bad of a pitch. I think that's the one thing you see in a lot of hitters today. As soon as somebody tries to come inside on them, you get that glaring look, and the hitters get upset. Hershiser right back in there again. Yep. I mean, you're looking at the wrong guy to try and intimidate here. I don't care who you are and how big you are. This guy's going to pitch his game. Talking about Orel Hershiser. I mean, if he's going to come inside on you, Bob, he's going to come inside no matter who you are. And in any situation, this guy knows his control is good enough where he can come back away again on Canseco. I wouldn't be surprised to see him come right back in there again. Only upstairs.
The 1-2 pitch. Pop back out of play. Coming right toward us. It didn't miss us by much, and Uke, I noticed that you were in position to make the play.
Well, she was a little out of my range there. I hate leaning out over. I did this once before here. Our first trip in here, I leaned out over and I ended up down in the lower boxes.
Yeah.
And to get back up here again, you know, you miss a lot of plays and stuff. I hate that.
Boy, I
here.
hate when that happens.
Yeah, right down here she hit, and I went right over like this, you know. I hate that.
Oh. You can't do that too often. You know, once or twice.
Once is enough. No, take my word, once is enough.
Down goes Canseco. He and Vaughn still hitless. Hershiser's had his moments of anxiety, but so far no one scored on him as we move to the bottom of the third. Here's tonight's Toyota Diamond Dust baseball fact. Coors Field is hosting a postseason game in its first season of operation as Lofton takes a ball. Name 5 other current stadiums that hosted postseason games in their first season of operation. Lofton pops it up, nearing a third. That takes care of the Cleveland leadoff hitter.
Well, I don't know. Let's see. Skydome for one.
Yeah, 1989. They opened it at mid-season, and they hosted the playoffs there against Oakland. Riverfront Stadium in 1970, same deal. I think that's when they left Crosley mid-season, and the World Series was played there in 1970.
Cincinnati.
Vizquel, the hitter, reached on Valentin's error in the first. One out, nobody on. Bottom of the third, no score.
Did we discuss Yankee Stadium?
Well, I guess that would count. It's been remodeled, but it opened in 1923, and I'm pretty sure the Yankees won the pennant that year. In there, 1-1. Quickly to Hannah Storm. Something's going on somewhere else. Hannah.
Bob, the action is at Dodger Stadium. Top of the fourth, Los Angeles up 1-0. Reggie Sanders at the plate with a man on. It's a 2-run home run. The first hit of the night off Dodgers starter Ismael Valdez. Home run to dead center, and Cincinnati takes a 2-1 lead. Now we go to the bottom of the inning, and Eric Karros answers with a solo shot off John Smiley. Earlier, he had an RBI double, so Karros has driven in both runs for the Dodgers. We're all tied up at 2 in L.A. Bob?
Hannah Storm is probably the envy of every baseball fan in America. She's watching 4 games at once and bringing it all together with the help of the folks at the Baseball Network, trying to keep us up to date on everything that's going on. There's a strike to Baerga.
I wonder if Hannah knows the other couple of stadiums.
I don't think she's had time to think about that. Broken bat roller, Alicea. A very quick bottom of the third, and we're back after this from your local station. Fourth. Red Sox trying to head back to Fenway. Tied at a game apiece. On Friday, they'll go with Wakefield. Nagy will be the starter for Cleveland. Greenwell in the air to left. Albert Bell has it.
Don't say that too quick.
You know, I think I did, actually. But he did clutch it. This 1995 Division Series game is brought to you by Network MCI. How to get modern communications technology working for your business. Texaco Clean System 3 gasolines. And Chevrolet, the cars and trucks 36 million people depend on every day. Genuine Chevrolet. Nearing fouled out his first time up. A drive down the left field line. And a foul ball. I'm going to give you the answer to the Toyota Diamond Dust quiz in just a little bit.
What have we, let's see, Toronto, Cincinnati, and New
Yankee
York?
Stadium. Chopper over the mound by Erga. Behind second base. Quick throw and got it. Here comes the answer.
Anaheim?
5 other current stadiums besides Coors Field that have hosted postseason games in their first season. Fenway Park in 1912.
Wow.
Never would have thought of that. 2 of them in 1970. Pirates and Reds met in the LCS. Yankee Stadium and the Sky Dome, we got those.
Not bad.
Willie McGee singled his first time up.
John Gonzalez give us a little touch there, talking about being experts.
McGee, a long history from all those years in the National League against Hershiser. 12 for 50, that's 240. Never homered against him. Singled his first time up off Oral in the second inning.
Boy, there's a good fastball from Hershiser. I'll guarantee you that one in the high 80s or in that low 90-mile-an-hour range. One more time around the outside corner. Good fastball.
The 0-2 pitch. Last year with the Dodgers, Hershiser was 6-6, but he left 10 games with LA either ahead or tied, and he wound up with no decisions in those games. And John Hart, the fine general manager of the Indians, in courting Hershiser, trying to get him to come here as a free agent, said, come to the American League. We won't have to pinch hit for you. We've got a lineup so good that you can start thinking about 15, 16 victories. He was right on the money. Hershiser goes 16-6. Most victories he's had in 7 years. Called strike 3. Third strikeout for Hershiser. Still no hit. As we move to the bottom of the 4th, the crowd already reacting. Albert Bell will be the leadoff man. Just to finish up about what Kevin Kennedy told us. He said, look, the guy was found to have a cork bat last year. We still have our suspicions. Word buzzes around the league. He also said Bell is a great player. It's not like he needs the extra edge. We didn't find any cork last night. That's not to say that he's never used a cork bat and that he might not be caught sometime in the future. Mike Hargrove told us before the game, absolutely not. Nobody here, no way, no cork bats.
Well, they said the same thing last year. No way, nobody here, no cork bats. You know, the one thing, excuse me, Bob, I was going to say, the one thing you worry about, I mean, in using a doctored bat, somebody on your ball club gets traded to another ball club. I mean, they're going to tell everybody in the world, I mean, that you're using a cork bat. The same holds true with pitchers. Guys who throw spitters or use pine tar or whatever, you get traded to another ball club. They say the guy throws spitters, he loads them up, he cuts the ball, he does whatever. It's only natural. I mean, what are you going to do, hold a secret against some guy who's beating your brains out?
That was Kennedy's whole point, that word gets around. The pitch to Albert, smacks it deep but foul.
It doesn't bother Albert, though, does it?
Well, the worst thing you can do with this guy, by all accounts, is to get him angry. He works himself up into some kind of a controlled rage. He's a very intelligent guy. Sits around doing the New York Times crossword puzzle in the clubhouse. The 1-1 pitch. 2-1.
He doesn't get them right. He just does it.
Well, I was walking past him tonight, and he said, "Hey, what's a word for Mr. Baseball? Starts with U, ends with R." I said, "Del
Ends
Unser."
with K.
Del Unser.
Ends with K.
Del Unser, Ted Eulander.
Yeah. Okay, pal.
3-1 to him.
You know, off the field, this guy is one of the most soft-spoken people you'd ever want to be around. I mean, he's two different people. When he's out here, and especially hitting, as you said a moment ago, I mean, he's unbelievably intense.
And he gets under this one. He had Hansen set up, the kind of situation he likes, but he couldn't do anything with the 3-1 pitch, the catch by Valentin, and the throw to Hannah Storm.
Thank you, Bob. Top of the fourth, Braves leading 2-0, 2 outs for Marquise Grissom, who led off the game with a home run. And here's another one, his second of the night off Lance Painter. It's a solo shot to give the Braves a 3-0 lead. Grissom only had 12 home runs all year, and he has 3 thus far in the series at Coors Field. Bob?
Hannah, thanks a lot. Here's Eddie Murray, struck out his first time up. Wallops one to center field. Back goes Hosey, and it's off the wall. It bounces away from him. Murray to second, thinking about third. Eddie trying for the triple. Here comes the throw, and he's in there standing. A one-out triple for Murray, who at age 39 doesn't hit many of them.
Remember earlier when we were talking about Murray and sitting on fastballs? There it was from Hansen, out over the middle, and he hit it into that corner out in left center. There you see Hosey with a leaping try. He never got close to that ball. He would have been better off turning around and playing it off the wall. Instead, it's picked up out there by Greenwell, and Murray in the third, uncontested with a triple.
He did not hit a triple during the regular season. Tomey fouls it back.
There it is. Murray drives it to deep left center. He thinks it may have a chance to go. Now sees it go off the wall. Starts thinking double. No. They'll carry me 3 times.
Hosey was thinking about making the catch. He didn't position himself for the carom, and it bounced back past him, and that's what gave Murray the chance to stretch it into a triple.
He wasn't even near the ball. It played way off the wall to his other side. I mean, going the way he was, Bob, as you said, he thought about maybe making a leaping catch of the ball, but he wasn't even near it.
And the Red Sox infield comes up halfway. Figuring 1 run might be precious in this game, they look to cut it off. Blocked by McFarland.
Change of pace that time by Hansen. Nice play by McFarland. Here it is again from a different angle. Watch how close Hosey is to this ball. Not even close. I mean, it's 5-6 feet away from him. And Greenwell makes the play. You know, in earlier years with Murray running the way he used to, that may have been an inside the Parker the way he ran.
The 1-2 pitch. Tomey struck out his first time. He was 1 for 6 with 3 strikeouts last night. He had 4 homers during the regular season, though, against the Red Sox, among the 25 he hit for the year. Foul ball. Manny Ramirez is on deck. Bottom of the 4th, no score. Each team with 2 hits. Mariners trying to get even with the Yankees and leading 1-0. Braves trying to take a 2-0 lead in the series against the Rockies. Lavin apparently pitching well, and they lead 3-0. Dodgers trying to tie it at 1 with the Reds. Game tied at 2 in Los Angeles. In the air to left field. This could be trouble if it's fair. Greenwell digging hard, and a foul ball.
A little slicing fly ball that time off the bat of Jim Tomey. And again, had Greenwell been able to catch up to it, I don't know if Murray would have been able to score on that. Greenwell throws well. Long run for Mike, but not close.
A one-out triple by Eddie Murray gives the Indians a chance to snap the scoreless tie.
A right-handed batter and Manny Ramirez coming next. Murray at third. See if Hansen goes change of pace here. There it is.
And he gets his third strikeout with it in a situation where he needed the strikeout. Now the infield obviously moves back, and Ramirez needs a 2-out RBI hit.
Boy, I mean, he's got a beauty. He really does. That's as good a change of pace as you'll see in all of baseball. Look how far Thome is out in front of this pitch. I mean, a beauty. Out of the strike zone.
2 keys, actually 3. It's a change of speed, but it has movement on it. Move down and away from the left-handed hitter. Plus, the delivery point and all of the action gives the appearance that it's a fastball.
Now that's what makes a change of pace for anybody. I mean, if you've got the motion. I mean, if you're making a hitter think fastball and that thing flies out of your hand with nothing, it's a dead fish, and it drops for lack of velocity. And again, he's got a beauty. I mean, he's worked on it, and he'll tell you that.
0-1 to Ramirez, looking for his first hit. Bounced to second his first time up. 0 for 7 in the series. Fastball 0-2.
You know, when you're up against a guy like Hansen, who's got the great change of pace, and as a hitter, every once in a while, you say to yourself, I know this guy's going to throw changeups, but there's no way you can go to the plate against a guy like Hansen looking change of pace. You can't do it. He's got such a good fastball and a very good curve. You can't go up there looking change of pace.
McFarland with another good play. 1-2.
McFarland involved in one of the key plays in last night's game on a play at home plate, a ball that got by him, and led to a big 3-run inning for the Indians.
Called strike 3. Closes the inning with a pair of strikeouts. Murray stranded at third. Still no score after 4. After a bases loaded situation had him in trouble in the second. Hershiser has now retired 7 in a row. Here he provides a little self-scouting report.
Well, I think that the main thing that people will watch with me is my sinking fastball, that it's being hit on the ground, that I'm not giving up a lot of flyouts. If I am giving up flyouts, are they weak ones or are they strong in the gap? If the ball is moving, it's harder to hit more solid. So I'd say if the ball is being hit weakly, then I'm on.
Here's the stat that backs him up. When that sinker is working, that sinking fastball, this is the result. He got more double plays per inning pitched than anybody in the American League this year. McFarland is the first hitter in the top of the 5th. Ball 1 to him.
Hershiser's only given up 3 weak little fly balls tonight. Another point that he brought up. I'll tell you what, Hansen hasn't done all that badly either, Bob. He's only given up 1 fly ball out. That to Baerga back in the opening inning. I mean, he's been punching people out, weak little ground balls and pop-ups.
Two-0 pitch to McFarland. Hit toward the hole, and Thome can't make the diving play. It's a leadoff hit for the Boston catcher.
That last ball hit by McFarland past a diving Jim Thome. McFarland with his second base hit tonight after a collar last night.
Buddy Bell, fine third baseman with the Indians, the Reds, the Rangers for a while, has worked with him. Buddy, now a Cleveland coach, has worked with Thome to try to make him a better third baseman. Here's Alicea, who walked his first time up. Meanwhile, Buddy Bell's name keeps coming up in rumors concerning open managing spots. Most recently, the Tiger job, now that Sparky has stepped aside. Alicea tries to lay one down, but it's fouled. You also hear his name in association with the St. Louis Cardinals. His son David was traded there in the Ken Hill deal at midseason and has seen a lot of playing time at second base and third base for the Cardinals. It's widely thought that Mike Jorgensen was an interim manager after Joe Torre was fired, and that they'll be looking for a new man in the offseason, and Bell's name has been heard there too.
Buddy Bell, one of the best third basemen during his playing days. Boy, he could pick it. Great throwing arm. Excellent power.
0-2 to Alicea.
Played with his dad, Gus Bell, and I don't know if you remember Gus, Bob. I'm sure you saw him.
Cincinnati Reds.
Yes, sir. A big power hitter with the Reds, and
one of the original New York Mets with that comical 1962 team.
A story the late Casey Stengel used to tell, or was telling one day about his roster.
On 3 pitches, Alicea takes a seat, and Hershiser records his 4th strikeout.
He's talking about, somebody asked him about his opening day lineup, and Casey was going over the opening day lineup for the Mets, and he said, and there's one other guy, and I can't think of his name, and he couldn't think of his name. He kept telling the writer, I can't think of his name. He says, anyway, when they ring the bell, he'll be ready. And by the way, that's his name.
Gus Bell.
Gus Bell. Played with Gus in Milwaukee, a big power hitting, left-handed hitting outfielder. Passed away not too long ago.
Hosey 0 for 2, reached on an error, grounded out, and fouls this one off. The second 3-generation baseball family in the major leagues. Ray Boone, Bob Boone, Brett Boone preceded them by a few years, and now Gus Bell, Buddy Bell, David Bell. McFarland at first with 1 down in the 5th. Still no score in game 2 of the division series. The Indians won on the Pena homer 5-4 in 13 last night, with 2 rain delays thrown in.
Hershiser and Hansen matching each other tonight. 4 strikeouts apiece. Hershiser has walked 1. Hansen has yet to walk a batter. You know, when this game started out, Bob, as you said earlier, 3 errors in the opening inning. I mean, it might be one of those wacky jobs here tonight, but again, pitching is dominating in the early going in tonight's game as it did last night.
Outside, 2-1. The Red Sox defeat last night made it 11 consecutive postseason games lost for the Red Sox. That's Jim Rice, an inning back, talking with Hosey, Red Sox hitting coach. Bouncing ball to second. Baerga gets the lead runner. So McFarland is out, and Hosey is at first with 2 down. Hosey now 0 for 8 in the series.
Now, I know that's what Jim Rice was talking to him about. Again, he had a pitch that he could drive the other way and tried to pull it. Hit that little bouncing ball to Baerga. And the guy who's really out of his element, Bob, when he does try to pull the ball or hit with power and try to do too much. And that's what Jim Rice was preaching and trying to get him to do during batting practice. And I mean, he's one of those hitting coaches that really does stay on you. I mean, when you're in the cage, he throws batting practice daily. And there you see him right there. He's upset at the last AB by Hosey. A ball that he should have driven and hit up the middle or hit the other way, and he tried to pull it.
Now Valentin, who had 2 hits, including a homer last night, 0 for 2 tonight. On the corner for strike 1.
Here's a guy against a pitcher like Oral Hershiser. If he's going to keep knocking you down with strikes away, if he's going to keep going away on you, Valentin's got the power to hit one out the other way. He did it last night. He can go to right field, deep.
The runner is going, and Alomar can't handle a pitch. Hosey didn't realize it, slides into second with a stolen base.
There's Hosey's lead. And a good break against Hershiser. A pitch that was in the dirt and got by Alomar. And he's in with a steal. One more time. Breaking ball low and outside. And there's one of those chances where Alomar could have gotten his body in front of the ball had he shifted a little bit. Instead, he tried to backhand it.
Well, he was hoping that if he could have backhanded it cleanly, he might still have a crack at the runner, but unlikely.
That's a very tough play. I mean, if a short hop breaking ball, you're all right as a catcher. But that thing was about 3 feet in front of him.
Now an RBI spot for Valentin, but a swing and a miss for strike 2.
But Valentin there, Bob, in fact, he missed the ball. Okay, he's a strike, but a pitch that he tried to go the other way on. He didn't try to pull the ball. He tried to go right field, right center. Here it is one more time. He tried to go the other way. You saw him stay in there and try to take Hershiser to the opposite field. See if he comes inside here. He's gone away on Valentin a couple of times.
Yep, struck him out. You called it, Uke. That's 5 to the bottom half of inning number 5. There's the Red Sox Game 3 starter at Fenway. Wakefield for Boston, Nagy for Cleveland. Friday night, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. The playoffs continue. Game 3 of all 4 series. Check your local listings for the game in your area. That's Bud Black, one-time Kansas City Royal, with some good ball clubs in the 80s there. Bottom of the 5th, and Sorrento against Hansen. Both these teams went deep into their bullpens last night. Each team used 7 pitchers.
And both getting good efforts out of their starters tonight. Hershiser and Hansen here for the Red Sox. Boy, I'm telling you, his changeup is devastating. He starts Sorrento off with a change of pace in the dirt and comes right back with another one and has got him way out front. Talking earlier about going up against this guy and looking changeup, it's getting to that point in the game where you might as well do that. There's another one, 3 in a row.
You know,
3 in a row.
He went through a stretch of a dozen or more starts, speaking of Hansen, where he couldn't throw his curveball because his elbow was bothering him. He developed a cut fastball during that period of time, continued to pitch and win through the difficulty.
That's
man, oh
4
man.
in a row. Excuse me. That's 4 in a row, Bob. I mean, you don't see that too often. Not 4 changeups in a row to a hitter, and he's 2-2 here on Sorrento. I mean, he's got a beauty. He really does. He's worked at it, worked hard, and has really developed it.
Al Nipper, Red Sox pitching coach. 3-2.
4 changeups and then a high gasser, and didn't miss by much.
Hirschbeck keeps you informed, though. You can hear him say, nope,
I like
inside.
that. I like that. I really do.
The payoff pitch. Walked him. Well, he hit him with a pitch his first time up. He walks him here. Hansen came out of spring training as one of the Homestead free agents. All the guys with the labor difficulty who weren't signed when the season was set to begin. The Red Sox signed him as a free agent in April. He had gone just 5-5 with Cincinnati last year. His best season was in 1990 with Seattle when he went 18-9. He's 30 years old and pitching just about as well now as he ever has.
I'll tell you, he did well with Seattle in the...
Alomar looks to bunt. High pitch, but he gets it down. And the putouts recorded 1-4 with Alicea covering.
You know, he may have had a shot at Sorrento going to second. He never looked at him. He took the sure man in Alomar, but he had a definite shot at Sorrento going to second. Just to finish up, I mean, when he was with Seattle and such a power pitcher, I mean, it was one fastball after another and a big hard curve. And you win 18 games for that club. I mean, you're doing a job. You know, Bob, you talk about certain pitchers with certain ball clubs, and clubs don't score a lot of runs for you. But when you look at those pitchers who are good, I mean, guys who are really good and you know are going to be winners, despite the fact that they're on bad ball clubs, they win. They do win games.
Swing and a miss at a high fastball by Lofton. Kenny 1 for 5 last night, 0 for 2 tonight.
Hansen this time with a high fastball. You better hurry up if you're going after it upstairs. Lofton hit by a pitch last night in the back in that inning, the 12th inning last night, a very controversial inning, and an inning I thought was going to end the game. They had runners at first and third with nobody out and ended up not scoring.
Sorrento at second. Lofton pulls back after showing a bunt, and it's 0-2. You know, if Hansen can get that fastball up in the vicinity of 90 miles an hour, it's so much more devastating in contrast to the change.
Yeah. When you're talking about a 75-mile-an-hour changeup or less.
McFarland is fooled. The ball gets away, and to third is Sorrento.
Crossed him up. Definitely crossed him up. You saw McFarland go up as if to get a high fastball, and Hansen threw him a curve. And luckily, that ball hit McFarland. He never got a glove on it. Watch this. There's the curve, and it got him.
Maybe not so luckily from his perspective.
Either in the shin guards or in a place where he should have had a shin guard. But again, crossed up on a big breaking ball. He was looking fastball. And Hansen threw him a deuce.
He's looking at stars right now. 1-2 to Lofton. Infield moves in, 2-2.
Hansen upset at himself. Wow. Big break for the Indians with only one out. Infield up again.
Full count.
Well, he's used his changeup so often tonight, and he'll throw it from behind. He's gone twice now, back-to-back fastballs on Lofton. Here's a high fastball. He tried to get him to chase. Didn't do it. Let's see here if he goes changeup. Yep, he did. Walked him.
But he walked him. Kevin Kennedy believing that this could be a 1-0, 2-1 game. Brought his infield up after Murray tripled with one out in the fourth. Here in the fifth, a Sorrento walk, a sacrifice, a pass ball, and now a walk to Lofton. Puts runners at first and third. So with the double play in order, he moves them back as Vizquel steps in. Nearing is even with the bag at third. Lofton not going, and the pitch outside. Now you got a double problem. Even if Lofton doesn't steal second, and Nipper's coming to the mound now along with McFarland. Vizquel runs very well, especially coming out of the box from the left side. And Lofton is so fast, he's likely to be able to get down to second base in time to disrupt the pivot. So this combination of runner and hitter, very difficult to get the double play on.
Depending on where the ball is hit and how hard it's hit. And Vizquel trying to put it in play here. Nothing game in the fifth inning, and Al Nipper out for a couple of quick words. That's Davey Nelson and Kenny Lofton.
Sorrento, the lead runner at third, is not a burner. Do you throw through if Lofton takes off?
Oh no, I think you got to play for the double play. If the ball is hit hard enough, you got to play for the double play.
No, I mean if he tries to steal.
Oh yeah, I think you do. I think you do. Absolutely.
1-0 pitch to Omar. Runner not going. Foul ball.
I think you give Vizquel a shot, though, with Lofton holding it first and Vaughn having to hold him at the bag. You got the big hole between Alicea and Vaughn. Although Vizquel, again, is not a dead pull hitter. I mean, if you give him something off speed, he can hit you. Or if he's looking fastball, he'll try to turn one on you. Got a little pop from time to time. He's no big home run hitter, but every once in a while, he hits 6 this year.
Not going again. Line drive, base hit. The first run is home, and the ball gets in the gap. And this will allow Lofton to score. They're waving it home. Vizquel will stop at second with a double at plates 2.
Fastball from Hansen, and as I said just a moment ago, if he's looking fastball, he can turn it around on you, and he can hit you to left. That's what he did, a double to the gap, driving in a pair of walks. Given up by Hansen, and the Indians leading 2-0 here in the fifth. Well, it's been all Cleveland here, Bob, with the crowd and everything else into these two games, but the Indians will get the same thing over in Boston at Fenway.
Baerga pops one up back as short, and Valentin makes the play. The difference is, unless the Red Sox rally here, if they go to Fenway and have to listen to this in reverse, it'll be comforting to have a 2-0 lead with the Red Sox forced to sweep.
Absolutely, Bob, you're right. But again, it's been all Indians here, and this crowd on their feet as Albert Bell comes on again. But the Red Sox are not dead. They're not out of it by any means. A concerned Kevin Kennedy, though, here's the guy that, I mean, they were banking on tonight to get back home at least 1-1. And again, we're only in the 5th inning. Red Sox with 4 more shots at it.
And predictably, they'll walk Bell intentionally here. It's predictable even though the highly respected switch hitter Murray is on deck. Right-handed hitters, though, for the year have collectively done better against Hansen than lefties. That off-speed stuff works very well against the left-handed hitters.
Well, Murray back in the 4th inning, sitting on a fastball, almost hit one out of here in deepest left center for a 3-base hit. And he's on now with right-hander Mike Maddox up in the Boston bullpen.
Kennedy told us before the game that although Hargrove shouted something at him, something none too pleasant after the bat was confiscated, Bell didn't say anything. Bell, of course, was gesturing, pointing to his muscles, saying, there's the cork. But after they walked Bell intentionally in extra innings last night, Kennedy immediately headed out of the dugout to make a pitching change and said that as he crossed the line, he was very close to Bell, well within earshot, and Albert didn't say anything. He described Albert as respectful in that situation.
Now, last night's score was all the Indians were worried about. They got out of here last night 1-0, win to nothing, and tonight could make it 2-0.
Murray just waves at the change. He has struck out and tripled. The only 2 men Hansen has walked have both scored on him. That is until the intentional walk to Bell, which was his 3rd. Fastball up and in, 1-1. Sorrento walked. Alomar sacrificed after a pass ball Lofton walked. Then Vizquel doubled 2 runners home. Baerga popped out. Bell was passed on purpose. And the count 1-1 to Murray. 2 on, 2 out, 2 runs home. 2-0 Cleveland, bottom of the 5th.
Now, Eddie Murray, as Mike Hargrove told us last night, and in watching this guy throughout his career, and especially in his later years, is a great situation hitter. I mean, he's a good mistake hitter. If you make a mistake or he's looking a certain pitch on you, I mean, he'll stay there. He'll stay there and up to 2 strikes, just keep looking for that particular pitch.
1-2.
One looking gas there. They play him. You look at the Red Sox outfield, straight away in center and right, and then in left. Mike Greenwell is only about 40 feet off the line out there. There's a huge gap in left center.
2 balls and 2 strikes to Eddie Murray. Before the 4th inning triple, Murray was 1 for 13 lifetime against Hansen. Roller down toward Vaughn. He'll take it himself. They score 2 to lead 2. And after 5, the Indians have broken through to lead 2-0.
Well, there's McFarland, Al Nipper, and Eric Hansen talking about the cross-up. When McFarland evidently called the fastball, Hansen threw the curve. And it wouldn't have made any difference anyway. He followed that with a walk to Lofton after the sacrifice, and then Vizquel doubled in both.
The top of the 6th starts with the increasingly frustrated Vaughn and Canseco. A combined 0 for 16. Yes, he is 0 for 8 in the series.
That could change momentarily.
.39 Rockets left his bat this year. Drives this one to left. Bell backs up a little. There's the first out. He does have power in that direction, and that's part of what Rice was trying to get him to do, to realize that, not be over anxious, not try to pull, hit that fairly hard, but a routine play for Bell.
Well, at Fenway Park, it's a different story. That's a wall shot there. But here at Jacobs Field, a routine fly ball. And you're right, Bob. That's exactly what Rice has been wanting Vaughn to do. And I mean, It's not only Vaughn. I mean, this whole Red Sox offense has been shut down. Here's another guy. Canseco.
Canseco and Hershiser have a postseason history. Hit hard down to third. Tommy to Sorrento for the second out. Canseco was the American League MVP the 40-40 season in 1988. Hershiser was the Cy Young Award winner in the National League when they met in the World Series. Look at this. The Rockies get even with the Braves. The Braves are the heavy favorites, but the Rockies are going to make them sweat. Canseco hit a grand slam homer. It's long since forgotten at Dodger Stadium in Game 1 of that World Series, but that was all washed away when Gibson hit the storybook pinch hit homer off Eckersley to start the Dodgers on their way to a 5-game win in the series. Hershiser pitched 2 victories. He was just about unhittable at that stage the last couple of months and into the postseason. And Canseco was 0 for 8 in that World Series with 2 strikeouts against Orel and 0 for 3 against him tonight. Here's Greenwell with 2 out and nobody on.
And the walk to Mike Davis from Eckersley in that game, a lot of people still don't understand that one, why he didn't really go after Davis. Ancient history now, but it set the stage for Gibson.
1-1 pitch to Greenwell. Hit into shallow left. Albert Bell for his second put out of the inning. Hershiser makes quick work of the Red Sox in the top of the 6th. After 5 1/2, 2-0 Cleveland.
From the creator of T2 and Aliens, it's the turn of the century.
I'm the magic man.
He sells other people's lives for entertainment.
Straight from the cerebral cortex. You're there. You're feeling it.
But now, through the eyes of a murderer,
It's a setup.
he's uncovered a conspiracy.
You know how high up the food chain this thing goes.
And they've discovered him. Strange Days, directed by Catherine Bigelow. Rated R. Friday, October 13th at theaters everywhere.
When I am alone in the half-light of the canyon, all existence fades to a being with my soul and memories. And the sounds of the big Blackfoot River, and the hope that a fish will rise.
Not everything is black and white.
Some things are black and white.
Or black and green.
Occasionally black and blue.
Pro Player home and away jackets come in all these colors and reverse to all of these colors.
The only guys who have Pro Player jackets are black and white.
Refs, no way. They never reverse anything.
No, Foot Locker, the guys in stripes, black and white.
The Pro Player reversible jacket. Reverse it.
From Gillette comes a uniquely different form of protection for men. Gillette Clear Gel Antiperspirant. Unlike a stick that can stay in your underarm hair, this is a soft gel. It goes cleanly through the hair right down to the skin surface to fight odor and wetness where it begins. And that means powerful all-day protection. The revolutionary Gillette Clear Gel Antiperspirant.
Kurt Russell and Martin Short.
There are no Pirates of the Caribbean.
In the wacky...
Larry Walker at the plate with 2 on, and it's gone. A 3-run home run for Larry Walker off Braves starter Tom Glavine. He had 36 home runs in the regular season. His first of the postseason has tied up this ball game. We're in the top of the 7th there. Bob and Bob.
And Hannah, it's 2-0 here as we go to the bottom of the 6th. Tommy Ramirez and Sorrento against Hansen. Tommy 0 for 2, a pair of strikeouts. 1 for 8 overall with 5 Ks next to his name in the scorebook for the series. First pitch roller to Alicea. There's the first out. And here's this bit of information. This 1995 Division Series game is brought to you by Buick and your local dealers. Remember, Buick, the new symbol for quality in America. USSB, changing the way you look at TV. At Beechwood Aged Budweiser, the king of beers, this Bud's for you.
Both of these guys rolling along tonight, Hansen and Hershiser. A couple of walks in the 5th inning cost Hansen a couple of runs on the 2-run double by Vizquel, but both still throwing hard and matching in strikeouts.
Ball 1 to Ramirez. You know, everybody knows about the 2 years. The Red Sox not winning the World Series despite several near misses since 1918. The Indians not appearing in postseason play since their last pennant of 1954. Overlooked is the last time the Indians won the whole thing. The last time they won the World Series, 1948, they had to go through Boston to do it. A one-game playoff for the American League title at Fenway Park. Lou Boudreau, the boy wonder, MVP and player manager, I think at only 24-25, the great shortstop of the Indians, was their manager. They won the one-game playoff at Fenway Park and then won the World Series in 6 games against the Boston Braves. Ramirez with a long drive to center. Hosey all the way back to the track for the catch, right at the edge of the track, which brings us to Hannah Storm. Hannah?
Bob, we got a great night of baseball. Tight games everywhere. Bottom of the 5th, Seattle's leading 1-0. 2 outs for Bernie Williams facing Andy Bennis. And Williams comes through with the RBI double. He scores Wade Boggs to tie this game up at 1. It's his 3rd RBI of the series thus far. And that is where this game stands. All knotted up at 1 in the 6th. Back to the Jake.
And up steps Sorrento. The bat goes one way, the ball goes the other. It's off the leg of Hansen. He recovers to shovel it to Vaughn. The bat skittered over the Red Sox dugout and into the stands. Doesn't appear that anybody's hurt. We'll be back. As Sorrento makes contact here against Hansen, he's left with only the bat handle. Just about a splinter left. Hansen makes the play up along the first baseline, and the bat bounced off the top of the visitors' dugout and into the stands, and did in fact strike a fan. At first, the reaction of the crowd led me to believe that everyone was okay, but it did hit somebody, and we don't know how seriously that person is hurt.
Some young guy, Bob, and that's too bad. You know, every time I see something like that happen, it's not so much the barrel end of that piece of wood going in there. It's that, pointy end that, I mean, and that one bounced 4 or 5 times, and man, oh man, you hate to see that. Tim Naring hates to see that. High inside fastball from Hershiser.
Lots of peril at the ballpark tonight.
Boy, I just hate to see that. I mean, that bat going into a stands. Here's that high inside fastball. Look at that rider inside. That's the ball that really moves. That's what Hershiser was talking about earlier. When he was talking about a moving ball, he wasn't talking about from his hand to the catcher. He was talking about movement inside outside, sinker or rider away from a right-handed batter.
Nearing's 0 for 2 tonight. Had a homer last night. Red Sox trailed 2-0. And a popper towards short. Vizquel tucks it away. The Goodyear Tire and Rubber Company has dispatched its blimp Spirit of Akron to help with our coverage of tonight's game. The Goodyear blimp is based just 50 miles south of Cleveland, near Akron, Ohio. Willie McGee has singled and struck out. Since the Red Sox loaded the bases against Hershiser with 2 outs in the 2nd, he's retired 14 of 15 hitters. Oh, 2 to Willie. Let's check what's happening elsewhere in the 3 other Division Series games. Seattle has a threat, a man on 3rd with 2 out in the 6th, tied with the Yankees 1-1 in the Bronx. They've got Randy Johnson ready for game 3, so if they can get a split in New York, they'll feel pretty good about it. Larry Walker had a great year and continues with a 3-run homer. Rockies and Braves even in the 7th at Coors Field. And at Dodger Stadium, Reds and Dodgers still tied at 2, and Smiley is gone, and Dave Burba has come out of the bullpen. Big night of baseball, trying to keep you updated on all of it. Willie McGee hangs in there.
I mean, some big pitchers battles tonight, Bob. I mean, a couple of home runs that have been hit, but for the most part, pitching has been featured. And it's featured here tonight. 2-0 Indians behind Hershiser.
All ball players will tell you that history doesn't matter. You know what Mike Greenwell says about the curse of the Bambino. He's, I regret to say I never met Babe Ruth, so it's not a factor. But when you talk about teams with histories like the Indians and the Red Sox, off the outside corner, 1-2, you can't help but think about omens and ironic connections. At least the fans do. And so the Indians went through Boston both to win the pennant and the World Series against the old Boston Braves. The last time they won it all, 1948. The 1-2 pitch. Struck him out. And for Hershiser, that's strikeout number 6.
Well, when you're looking at some of the Indians clubs of past years, in difference to the last couple of years, as you look at this next offering on Willie McGee, a breaking ball and a nasty breaking ball. Hershiser, as I said at the top of the telecast, will throw a splitter from time to time. He doesn't use it a lot. Got the good fastball, rider, sinker, curve, and every once in a while a very good splitter. But this Indians ball club, Bob, over the last couple of years, a solid club. It's nothing like they went through in years past.
Mariners take the lead on a Tino Martinez hit. McFarland played here, has 2 of the 3 hits off Hershiser. Hansen has allowed the Indians only 3 hits, but one of them, after a couple of walks, was a 2-run double by Vizquel.
The Boston offense has just been completely shut down. I mean, it's been Cleveland, and despite the fact that they grabbed the lead early last night on the Valentin home run, Indians come back to win in extra innings, and tonight behind Hershiser, 6 strikeouts, lead 2-0.
1-2 to McFarland. 2 outs, nobody on.
Hershiser wants that baseball back. Rolled away from Sandy Alomar. There are a lot of managers in years past, Bob, if a ball got by you, they wanted you to go pick it up. They didn't want you to reach back for another ball from the umpire. Thought you were lazy. Go get it and get it back to the pitcher. And most guys want that same ball. I mean, if you got a ball and you've used it for an inning or over a couple of hitters and you got a good feel for it, you want it back.
Called strike 3. 2 in the inning. 7 for the game. Stretch time at the Jake. 2-0 Cleveland.
Back to the Jake in a moment. First, things all tied up at Yankee Stadium in the top of the 6th. Edgar Martinez on third, 1 out. We pick up the call of Gary Thorne.
Here's Mike Flowers. Infield drawn in. Fernandez stops it. Martinez stops. Play was made to Velarde, who gets the out. What a play! Fernandez to Velarde to Mattingly, and Martinez had to stay at third.
But then the next batter, Tino Martinez, opposite field single, and he scores Edgar Martinez. So the Mariners take a 2-1 lead, and then the Yankees tie things up. Ruben Sierra in the bottom of the 6th. The big home run last night and a blast tonight as he comes right back to tie things up at Yankee Stadium, and that is where things stand in this wild game in the 6th inning. Back to the Jake.
All right, Hannah, thanks for the report. Sierra with 2 home runs in this series, and with his antics after he connects, somebody is going to knock him on the seat of his pants before this series is over, if I know Lou Piniella.
I don't know. You know, in years past, it didn't happen, and there were a lot of guys that if you hit a home run against them, you raced around the bases. You didn't want them looking at you all that time.
Cormier, the left-hander. Mike Maddox, the right-hander. While Hannah was giving us the update from Yankee Stadium, Sandy Alomar on a check swing was retired on a comebacker. And now the 0-2 pitch from Hansen to Lofton. He was able to hold up.
And you remember some of the pitchers that I'm talking about, Bob. I mean, you remember names of guys that you wouldn't dare do that against. I mean, hit a home run or hit a long home run and then stand up there and jump around and wave your arms up in the air and scream and holler and everything else.
Yeah, try that against Don Drysdale or Bob Gibson.
I'm telling you, there's others, Pete Vukovic's and Bunnings and the early wins, and there's some today too. There's some today too, but that doesn't lend for good feelings.
3-2 now to Lofton. Kenny's 0 for 2 with a walk. Scored from first on Vizquel's double. Here's a drive to left center field. Hosey, Greenwell for the catch. As Vizquel heads for the batter's box, let's take a look back to the 5th inning. 2 men on. And here's his shot into right center field. It gets between McGee and Hosey, and with Lofton's speed, he's able to score all the way from first. And it's a 2-0 lead. Center field, Hosey. Hansen has a 1-2-3-7. But he still trails Hershiser and the Indians 2-0.
Earlier, we showed you Ruben Sierra's home run to tie up the Yankee game. Well, the next batter, Don Mattingly, facing Andy Bennis. And Mattingly with a solo shot, playing in his first ever postseason series. He now has his 4th hit of this series. It's a go-ahead run for the Yankees, 3-2. The fans throwing trash on the field. Lou Piniella temporarily had to remove his team, but they're back on and playing. Bob?
After the back-to-back homers by Sierra and Mattingly, apparently the fans celebrating as some of the fans in the Bronx are wont to do. And distressing as it is, Lou Piniella did what he felt he had to do. He pulled his team off the field for a while, but now, as Hannah says, they're back on. Alicea, Hosey, and Valentin in the 8th. The Red Sox down to 6 outs. And Hershiser really in a groove. Alicea's walked and struck out. Tomey in close at 3rd.
You know, he has pitched a whale of a ball game tonight, striking out 7, has allowed only 3 hits. The Indians and the Red Sox, 3 hits apiece in this game. I mean, it's been no big hitter's paradise at Jacobs Field tonight. Hansen's pitched well. A couple of walks cost him. But Hershiser has been overpowered. He has really shut him down.
He falls behind 3-0 to Alicea, the leadoff man in the 8th. Hershiser did not throw a complete game this year. And a 4-pitch walk to Alicea. Before the series, we asked Mike Hargrove for his assessment of Hershiser. Here's what the Indian manager said.
The man seemed to take his stance to take the sign from the catcher. And if they put a black cape with a black hood on him and gave him one of those big size, he'd look like a Grim Reaper, because and it almost gives you the impression of a predator. And I think that's probably, you know, how I view Oro when he pitches.
Hosey steps in and takes a strike. Well, you look at Hershiser, he looks kind of like a grown-up Opie Taylor, although not as much as Ron Howard does, come to think of it. But on the mound, he has the disposition of a bulldog.
It's better notice Campbell.
Did I miss something?
Are you an Andy of Mayberry fan? No, you know, Hershiser's another guy. We talked about Bell earlier.
Floyd the Barber. I always like Floyd
sure,
the Barber.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're in there, buddy.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we talked about Albert Bell earlier, about his personality changes. On field and off. Hershiser's the same way.
Swing and a miss by Hosey. Still looking.
You know, when you're in a game like tonight, Bob, and you're into the late innings, you've got them down 2-0. And I mean, you've pitched a heck of a ball game, and you know the man is in the bullpen for you for the 9th, Jose Mesa, if need be, and I'm sure we'll see him later on.
The 1-2 pitch grounded sharply down at first. Sorrento tries to get the lead runner and does. As Alicea is erased. Hosey on at first, but still looking for his first hit of the series. Something going on in Los Angeles. Let's head directly to Dodger Stadium.
At Dodger Stadium, bottom of the 7th inning, a 2-2 tie. Bases loaded for the Dodgers and 2 out. The Dodgers took the lead in the bottom of the 1st inning on an RBI double by Eric Karros. A 2-run homer by Reggie Sanders in the 4th put Cincinnati up 2-1. The Dodgers tied it in the bottom of the 4th on a Karros home run. 2-0 the count to Delino to Shields, 2-1. Dave Burba is the Cincinnati pitcher. He came on here in the bottom of the 7th, relieving John Smiley.
Well, the question is, what do you do here if you're the Shields? Do you take one more? Because you take one, you're going to get another fastball anyway, and you make him have to throw 2 strikes.
was that roof. And the runners will be in motion now. Fonville is at third. Eric Karros at second. Tim Wallach is at first. Full count, 2 out, 2-2 tie, bottom of the 7th, and the runners will go. Pop foul, third base side. Branson will play, and he's got it. So the Dodgers threaten, but they don't score. 7 complete at Dodger Stadium. We're tied at 2.
Well, you saw Tommy Lasorda as his team couldn't snap the tie at Dodger Stadium. There's his former ace, Orel Hershiser, just removed here in Cleveland. He pitches 7 1/3 and leaves in front 2-0. With Valentin the hitter, Julian Tavares comes out of the bullpen. Tavares gave up the home run to Alicea in the 8th last night. Not a bad pitch. Down and in. Alicea went and got it and whistled one out of here into the bullpen and right.
I asked Alicea about it tonight. He said it was either a fastball or a cut fastball. Down low and inside. He said, I knew when I hit it, it was gone. But, you know, in this situation, and we talked about it last night, with Hargrove's bullpen and guys like Tavares and the Plunks and Ossenmacher and Poole and the closer and Jose Mesa, why not get Hershiser out of here? He's pitched a heck of a ball game tonight, striking out 7, walking only a pair, and there you see Orel Hershiser. Again, what more can you ask? I mean, it's game 2 in the series. They leave here tonight, going to Boston, but I mean, this guy's done his job, taking it to the 8th with a 2-0 lead.
Saw that graphic. Indians playoff record. All playoff appearances prior to this year were World Series games. It's all before divisional play, going back to 1954 and 1948 and the 1920 World Series against the Brooklyn Dodgers. And the previous record was held by Bob Lemon, who struck out 6 in either the 48 or 54 World Series.
Now, I mean, with Hershiser tonight, and he's won 16 this year for the Indians. You can't ask for anything more. I mean, any starting pitcher would love to be on a staff with this kind of a offensive club behind him. The ability for this club to come from behind, as they have so many times last night, and scoring in extra innings to win. The bullpen, just the record of the bullpen pitchers itself, Bob, shows what kind of club you have here and their ability to score runs and come from behind.
Valentin to the plate. Posey at first. Vaughn on deck. 1 out of the 8th. 2-0 Cleveland. And a ball in the dirt. Boy, the margin of error is so slim in a 5-game series. Red Sox easily could have won last night. That would have put all kinds of pressure on Cleveland, not just in the series, but considering the kind of year they have had, and it would have been hanging in the balance. But now it's the Red Sox who are very close to having their backs pressed against the wall.
Well, it's been such a close series all year long between these two clubs, with the Indians leading 7-6. And in looking at this 2-game series, and I got to believe Kevin Kennedy and his coaching staff and the Red Sox getting a little bit concerned here. I mean, it's late and down by a pair. One swing of the bat and they're right back in it.
Valentin could do it. 27 for the year. Hit one last night. Pops it back. Alomar has no play. Valentin and Vaughn were teammates in college at Seton Hall, and Craig Biggio was also on that team. That's some college baseball team. Mike Shepard is still the baseball coach at Seton Hall, and he was asked about Valentin's power, whether or not he saw Valentin as a guy who could be a 25-30 home run man in the major leagues. He says, I got to be honest with you. I hit him 9th. What does that tell you?
Well, if anybody would have told me that John Valentin was going to be a 27, 28 to 30 home run a year hitter, I wouldn't have believed it either.
The 1-2 pitch is a foul tip that Alomar can't hold.
I mean, he's hitting in a very homer-friendly ballpark at Fenway, but again, he's one of those guys that has the ability to go the other way, as he did last night. He homered to right here last night, but I mean, he takes advantage of the wall in Fenway and the screen in Fenway. I mean, he's not a bad hitter overall. I mean, here's a guy that hit almost 300 for the year.
Moves him away, and Valentin takes a seat.
A hanging breaking ball that time from Taveras, and that's no place to be with this guy. I mean, if you're going to hang a breaking ball, not with this guy. That one's staying inside. He's 2-2 on him now. Here's that situation again where you've got the tying run at the plate, down 2-0.
Fastball high, 3-2.
That may have been his splitter, Bob. Fastball or the splitter a little bit high that time. And you know, you have to wonder about Taveras too. Here's a young kid in his first taste of postseason play. You know, we looked at him tonight. He was laying down in the tunnel down there, wasn't he, tonight? Sipping on a soda in the tunnel outside the clubhouse, or next to the Indian clubhouse.
Let's see if Hosey goes with one out. He is running on 3-2, and he'll have to come back. It's a pop-up. Baerga calls at second.
Now Taveras comes back to get him.
And now would be an excellent time from the Red Sox perspective for Vaughn to do something.
Well, if he's going to do something, it's going to be against the left-hander, I believe. It is. Hargrove's going to make the change. And boy, Mike Hargrove with all kinds of options here.
Bob Costas and Bob Uecker at Jacobs Field in Cleveland. The Indians lead it 2-0 on a 2-run double by Omar Vizquel in the 5th inning. Orel Hershiser worked 7 1/3 with a man on and 1 out here in the 8th. They took him out. There's Orel, who stands to be the winning pitcher. Brought in Tavares to pitch to one man, Valentin. Got him to pop up, and now with the left-handed hitting Vaughn coming up, they bring the veteran left-hander Assenmacher out of the bullpen. And if Assenmacher can get them out of this inning, then Mesa would work the ninth. And for those of you just joining us, a look back to the 5th inning. Then at 1st and 3rd with 1 out, and Vizquel slams the ball into right center field. And since Lofton was the runner at first, they had absolutely no chance to get him at the plate.
There's Omar Vizquel. He started off this game tonight with a beautiful play. A ball hit to the hole at short by Valentin, and it ended up as being an error on the first baseman Paul Sorrento. It should have been a double play, but it didn't happen that way. But Vizquel with a big base hit, driving in the only 2 runs in this game.
Assenmacher comes on to face Vaughn, who only hit around .250 against left-handers this year. Mo well over 300 against right-handed pitching, and exactly 300 overall for the year. This is a huge story. Those 2 guys standing right there, a combined 0 for 18, if my math is correct. 0 for 12 coming in, each 0 for 6 last night, each 0 for 3 tonight. Wow.
And in looking at Vaughn and Canseco of the 2 has hit the ball hard. I mean, he's hit a couple of balls right at somebody, lined into a double play last night in a key situation. He's hit the ball better than Vaughn has. Vaughn has really scuffled, and last night against the left-handers, trying to pull pitches that were down and away. He's hit 1 ball to left field. That was his last time up, a lazy fly back in the 6th inning. But other than that, Vaughn he's had problems. And now against Assenmacher, I'm sure they're going to see a lot of breaking stuff here again.
Well, pick your stat. Only around .250 against left-handed pitching overall. Wayne Kirby hoping perhaps for a shot at Holyfield or Bowe and staying loose just in case. But against Assenmacher, lifetime in 7 at-bats, Vaughn has 4 hits, none of them a home run. Strike 1.
They keep staying away on him, and as we talked earlier about Jim Rice, who's the Red Sox hitting coach, he said, Bob, if this guy continues to try to pull, it's going to kill us. He's got to go the other way. He's got to drive the ball to left, because that's the way they're pitching him. There it is. He's really having a tough time, and they're making good pitches on him with breaking stuff down low and away. once in a while showing something down low and inside, but there's no way he can reach that ball. I mean, if he's going to go the other way, try to hit to left, easier said than done a lot of times. And this guy's pressing. He knows the heat's on him, too. This crowd really into it now at Jacobs Field on their feet.
On 0-2. Couldn't get him to chase that. If Vaughn doesn't come through with something here, they're looking at Mesa in the ninth, down by at least 2. And Mesa has converted 46 of 48 save chances. Struck him out. Well, Hargrove's moves really worked. First to Tavares, then to Assenmacher. Still 2-0.
Well, I'm sure Vaughn is tired of it. Here it is again. Breaking ball down low and outside. A pitch that he couldn't pull, tried to pull, and Assenmacher picks up the strikeout. That's him.
And this fan keeping track continues to torment Vaughn, but not nearly so much as Indian pitching has. Part of the order as the Indians try to pad their lead in the bottom of the 8th. Baerga, Bell, and Murray. Hansen has pitched very well, but a little stretch of wildness hurt him when he walked a couple of guys ahead of Vizquel, and then Vizquel connected for the double to right center. That's the difference in the game. 2 runs in the bottom of the 5th, and that's it. Each team has only 3 hits.
Normally, you look at a game like this, Bob, and if your pitcher holds the opposition to 2 runs, if you're the Red Sox, you figure you're going to be in the ball game. I mean, that not that they're out of it yet.
Vaughn has it, and an unassisted putout. Well, Hansen has done against the Indians pretty much what he did in all of his starts this year for the Red Sox. He has held them in check. He has pitched more than well enough to win most nights.
Yep. 3-0 this year in 4 previous starts. And tonight again trailing 2-0, allowing only 3 hits. And I mean, you got to figure you're going to be in a ball game with the kind of a club the Red Sox have. And here's their man again.
First Indian to lead the league in homers since Rocky Colavito hit 42 in 1959. The 50 easily broke the team record of 43 by Al Rosen in the early 50s, 1953, I think. And there's strike 1 to him. After they checked his bat, in fact had it confiscated, eventually saw it open, and they found no cork. He had 1 more at bat in the game after the 11th inning homer. All no cork, all torque. Very clever. And when Bell came up, he immediately asked to have the ball checked. Have Mike Maddox toss the ball back in and have it checked. A bit of gamesmanship. 1-1.
And he's done that many, many times right there. Tremendous power. Sign out in the standing room only. Bleacher area and left, if you want to call it a bleacher area. Seats are sold every day before the games here at Jacobs Field. It's the only place that you can get a seat here. Standing room only. There you see it.
Out on the walkway down the left field line. 2-1 pitch. Off speed again and in there. 2-2. Ruthie in numbers, literally and figuratively, for Bell. The 50 homers in just 144 games. His slugging percentage was .690. That's exactly the Babe's lifetime slugging percentage. .690.
Now the other impressive thing with Albert Bell is the 52 doubles this year.
The 2-2 pitch. Did not miss by much. The 3-2 pitch fouled off. Bell is very aware of baseball history. The writers who cover the team tell me that he knew that Al Rosen had hit 43 home runs in 1953. He knew that Hank Greenberg one year had 100 RBIs before the All-Star break. He asked questions about players from more recent history. Reggie Jackson, George Brett. And a walk to him. And as Eddie Murray comes up, we head off for another update. And again, Hannah Storm. Take it, Hannah.
Bob, more from the seesaw game at Yankee Stadium. Top of the 7th, Yanks up 3-2. Luis Sojo with 2 on against Andy Pettitte. Singles up the middle to tie this game up at 3. Remember Soho with a big hit in the playoff game. Now the next batter, Ken Griffey Jr. blitzed the fly ball to third. Vince Coleman tags and tries to score from third. And Coleman is safe at home, but Soho is out of second. The inning is over, but not before the Mariners take a 4-3 lead now over the Yankees. Back to the Jays.
Just about every one of these games has been close and exciting all around the country.
I'm going to tell you, that's a short sack fly that Coleman scored on. Wow.
Wasn't exactly a throw from the Roberto Clemente textbook, though. I mean, that thing just kind of dribbled
kind
back
of a
into
grounder,
the infield. Yeah.
Grounder type, but anyway, he scored from third on a short little fly ball.
Bell at first with 1 out, bottom of the 8th. A ball and a strike to Eddie Murray, who was struck out, tripled, and grounded out. And a long drive to right, and this ball is gone.
This may have done it for the Red Sox. That's a high changeup. That's a high changeup from Hansen. Murray knew it when he hit it, and so did Hansen. I mean, he's pitched a beautiful ball game here tonight. It's every pitch for him has been a game line pitch. I mean, where it's on the line with no runs behind it. Murray with a big 2-run homer. 4-0. Wow.
3 of the people he's walked have scored. The only walk that didn't hurt him, he's walked 4 and hit a man. The only walk that didn't hurt him was an intentional walk to Bell in the 5th, and he got Murray on a ground out to end that inning. He walks Bell unintentionally but carefully, pitching carefully to him here in the 8th, and Murray follows with a home run. 4-0 Cleveland.
I was going to say, Bob, it's really tough though when you're working in a game like this, and you know what's on the line, and no matter what you do, every pitch is a game line pitch for you. I mean, you put somebody on and you've got to make everything perfect because your club is not scoring as he strikes out Tommy. But I mean, Hansen's pitched a good ball game here tonight. I mean, the Red Sox offense has just been shut down completely.
That was Hansen's 5th strikeout. Tommy, though, 3 times. So Tommy is now 1 for 10 with 6 strikeouts. 3 last night, 3 tonight in the series. Manny Ramirez. Ground ball is short. Valentin. Well, 4 runs. CI proof positive. Replay of the game. It came early. After Hosey had reached on an error in left by Albert Bell to open the game, Valentin bounces one to short. A sparkling play by Vizquel, a whirling throw, which would have been in time, but Sorrento came off the bag. Valentin was called safe. Sorrento's throw across the diamond got Hosey trying to advance from second to third on a nice catch and tag by Tommy. And on that play, Don Denkinger, the third base umpire, was tripped up, hurt himself, had to leave the game. So a bit of everything. Here's Mesa with a 4-run cushion. Canseco, the first hitter. Bouncing ball to Tommy. Vaughn and Canseco are a combined 0 for 20. This 1995 Division Series game is brought to you by Oldsmobile and your local Oldsmobile retailers. Burger King, where you can get your burgers worth, and the makers of Advil. New right fielder for the Indians, Ramirez out. And the veteran reserve, Wayne Kirby, is in right field now. Vaughn and Canseco, each 0 for 6 last night, each 0 for 4 tonight. Greenwell, fly ball to center. Mesa 1 out from closing it for Hershiser.
Oh, what a job by this Indian bullpen tonight. Taveras in the 8th after Hershiser left. He retires Valentin. Ossenmacher comes on to strike out Mo Vaughn. And here in the ninth, I mean, the main man is on. 2 down.
All perfect according to plan for Mike Hargrove. Have teams come back in 5-game series. The LCS was a 7-gamer starting in '85. The division series is new. Go back to your Milwaukee Brewers in 1982, down 2-0 to Gene Roth's California Angels. They won 3 in a row at home. In 1984, the Padres lost the first 2 at Wrigley, rallied in memorable fashion to break the Cubs' hearts with 3 straight victories in San Diego and go to the World Series. It can happen, and the Red Sox are going home, but with no margin for error.
That's right. Kevin Kennedy said this is the way they wanted it. They wanted to go up against the Indians. He said, we're looking forward to it. Not anymore.
They're going to have to win 3 straight. Nearing pops it up. Tomey calls. The Indians are up 2-0 as they win them both at Jacobs Field. Chevrolet player of the game is Orel Hershiser. In conjunction with this program, Chevrolet will contribute a total of $50,000 to the Boys and Girls Clubs of America in the names of all players of the game for the 1995 Major League Baseball season. Beat him 3 times during the regular season, but not tonight. We'll step aside for a moment. A bit of encouraging news before we go. The 13-year-old boy who was hit over the left eye by the flying bat when it left the hand of Paul Sorrento behind the Red Sox dugout has been taken to a local hospital. He was cut over his left eye. A 13-year-old boy may need stitches, but apparently no more serious than that. Here, Hershiser the winner, Mesa the save, Vizquel a 2-run double, Murray a 2-run homer, and off we go to New York.